Today I'm sharing how I homeschool my daughter who has dyslexia. Now, before I even suspected that she had dyslexia, I would have her narrate her writing assignments. So any stories that she wrote or essays, I would have her tell me what she was thinking of, what she wanted to say, and then I would either write that or type it for her because she had trouble getting her thoughts in order, getting her thoughts organized, and getting those thoughts from her head to either the paper or the screen. So that was really helpful in the beginning to do that narration, and that just allowed her to get her thoughts together. She didn't have to think about how to construct the sentences, spelling, grammar, any of that kind of thing. She could just let the thoughts flow, and then they were there, they appeared because I was her scribe. So it was a lot easier for her this way. And I did that for her probably up through 6th grade. She is now in 8th grade. Something else that I found really helpful for her is to read her books aloud. So her science books, history books, I would read those aloud to her, and we would usually sit in the living room while she was crocheting or working on a project, while she was doing a puzzle or playing with Legos, or coloring and even drawing. So that was a great way to let her still do her assignments, but hear what she was learning, because it's just easier for her to learn audibly instead of reading all of the material. It can get really overwhelming for her sometimes to read the text and to try to comprehend it and kind of organize it in her mind, like getting the proper context for things. So we read aloud a lot, and also I would read the questions out loud and then have her answer them orally instead of making her write down the answers. I will also try my best to describe things the way that she can understand. So she can understand a problem like this because it's written in the order that she understands. 28 divided by 4. This is kind of like a word picture, but she has a hard time with the problem written this way, when the 4 comes first and the 28 comes next. So what I've said is 4 divided into 28 instead of 28 divided by 4, and she's much better able to understand it that way. Something else that I let her do is write a lot of her math problems on the whiteboard because it's a different type of writing and feeling for her than pressing the pencil down on paper. It just gives her a different kind of sensation, and that it makes it more fluid, the writing part of it. It's just something about the marker moving on the whiteboard, the smoothness of it. It just works better for her than pressing the pencil down on paper. So it just kind of frees up that tension for her. And then she's better able to think through the problem because it just frees up her mind. So that has been incredibly helpful for her. Because she learns better hearing material, I've also had her start to listen to her books. So she will either check out her readers, the readers that are assigned for language arts, as audiobooks from the library, or we have also bought audiobooks on Amazon through Audible, and she has that app on her iPad. So she can listen to books while she is doodling or just keeping her hands busy. That really helps her understand to retain the information that she hears and learns if her hands are busy. So if she is doing something, even if she's folding her laundry, she's getting a chore done at the same time as she is learning. Another helpful thing is seeing her write her answers down or write sentences in real time. We use an app called GoodNotes, and I am able to see what she is writing exactly when she's writing it. There might be a little bit of a delay based on the syncing. If our internet in our house is really working well that day, I can pretty much see what she writes instantly. And that has been very helpful to see what she's doing, see her thought process as she's writing things, and correct it right away, correct the spelling or the grammar, or just have her stop at the end of a sentence and ask her, like, hey, what do you mean about this? Or can you tell me more about that? And then that helps her think through more of what she intends to write. And it helps her be better able to get her thoughts across. Another way that she uses the GoodNotes app is to keep math formulas straight. So she keeps a note of each formula within the app, and she can scroll through those whenever she needs to recall a formula because it's hard for her to memorize her math facts. And so it's easy for her to become confused and get the formulas mixed up, especially while she is currently taking algebra, which is much harder than all of the other math that she's taken already. I am also having her cut and paste her documents, so essays, for instance, into a text-to-speech app. We use something called 11th Reader, and she can take what she's written and paste that into the app, and then choose a voice that she prefers to read it to her so that she can hear how it sounds outside of her own head. And then she is able to hear how her sentences sound. She can hear if she's being redundant, if the grammar is correct, and then she can go ahead and fix those issues before she sends me the essay. And when she reads on her iPad, she uses something called Open Dyslexic Font. And that is something that helps her read each word. So if she's reading her Bible on the YouVersion app, she can just change the font of the text to Open Dyslexic. She can do that on other programs and apps that she's in, and be able to comprehend what she's reading much more easily than a regular font, like Arial, for instance, or Times New Roman. And so in addition to all of these helps and digital resources, just being open to finding what works has been incredibly useful for homeschooling her with dyslexia, because I learned that I have to be flexible and adaptive sometimes. And so I have tried my best to find helps like these that will just give her the tools that she needs to learn, because she learns in a different way than a lot of other kids, and she learns in a different way than I do, and in a way that is intuitive for me. So when I'm explaining something, I think, well, this is the standard way, and this makes sense for me, so I'm going to explain it to her in this way. But she will often remind me that I can't learn it that way, or she'll say something like, it's not logical, and what she means is that it's not logical for her. So I have tried to adjust my way of thinking over the years and to really find those tools that work for her. So that has meant changing approaches, changing my teaching style, and also changing, the way that I word things. Instead of saying normal or regular, I'll say dyslexic or non-dyslexic to describe things. We've also changed curriculums, and I've done this once. I've changed curriculums in the middle of the school year when I discovered that it just wasn't working for her. So we have changed curriculums that use video lessons because she is more of a visual learner. And if she can see those problems worked out for her, that is how she learns best. So that has been great. And also finding dyslexia specific curriculums like essentials in writing. That has been very useful as well. Also, while I have adapted to her specific learning style, I have also tried to still expect greatness from her and find that right balance between encouragement and knowing what she's capable of, but also challenging her to do more, to try her absolute very best, and to do harder and harder things. As a mom, I want to jump in right away and solve problems for her, and to eliminate any frustrations. But she needs some frustration to work through to be able to learn how to problem solve, because she will need those skills in life, not just while she is homeschooled. So I have learned to step back and give her the room that she needs to solve challenging math problems, to figure out how to construct sentences and write, and not just give her all of the answers, because that really wouldn't be truly helping her. So while she may learn differently and at a different pace than other kids, I have encouraged her to make progress every year and to highlight the wins and the progress that she's made, and let her know, you're doing really, really well in this, keep up the great work. And so she is encouraged by that. And she knows the goals that she's expected to meet, and she rises to those challenges. Thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe for more homeschooling tips and ideas, and I'll see y'all in the next video.